I've never seen a complete collapse of a franchise like Section 31. Even The Acolyte for Star Wars had people watching it, at least some, and it kind of going crazy on that level. But nobody watched this. Nobody's talking about it. It's just a dead thing because it just wasn't Star Trek, and everybody knew it. Now, even the Access Media, who would defend something like The Acolyte, couldn't defend this because it was so poorly done. It was so bad. I have no idea why they greenlit this, why they released this. I mean, Alex Kurtzman has to just be out of his mind at this juncture. And, from what I'm hearing, he might be out of a job later this year because of the direction he's taken Star Trek and absolutely ruined it. Every prospect, it seems like, is something that's just worse and worse and worse from this guy. And it's stuff people don't want. It is absolutely just napalming the brand of Star Trek and making it into something that it's not. And they just refuse to give fans what they want. I mean, it's very, very bizarre. It seems pretty easy to do. You just got to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life and civilizations, boldly go where no man has gone before, right? But no, can't do that with Section 31. I did a review the other day, and it's interesting to see the media reactions melting down about this. Really, really funny. Let's get into this news in just a moment. Smash that like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in culture. I'm a science fiction writer, guys, and this is what I do for a living. I have a trilogy called The Arishon War. It's about a human who embeds himself on an alien starship, a spy. So I've actually done this whole Star Trek-style spy thriller better than they did. And this is my book from a few years back. You can see it's very highly reviewed, unlike Section 31. And I've got a trilogy of this as it escalates, as this war builds up, and as the personal conflict gets even bigger. This is so fun. It really pays off at the end of book 3. I always get messages when people get to the end. They go, wow, that payoff's great. So check it out. It's in the description below, and it's available on ebook, print, and audio. I'm actually going to be doing a spin-off series from this, which is a straight-up space exploration book, and it'll be a starship going out exploring different worlds because that's what's needed in today's culture. It doesn't exist, and so I'm providing it. I've written 2 of the 3 books of the trilogy. I'm going to get it all done, all polished before it comes out for you guys, and I'm excited. Probably summer this year, so catch up now. Good stuff. You'll love it. Thank you so much for reading. It's been amazing. So good stuff. Now, you can see Michelle Yeoh was apprehensive about arranging a Star Trek cameo. Jamie Lee Curtis came in at the end, if you don't know, and she was like part of this whole deal. And it's that's people were cheering for it. Yay! There's a celebrity cameo. Stupid, but that's all you got out of the film. That was enjoyable at this level. So if you look at all the news articles out of it, will there be a sequel? Yeah, right. The ratings of this are going to come out and be terrible. We know that. I mean, the level of chatter I'm seeing on this film is almost non-existent. People are not watching this whatsoever. That's a bad sign. At least, like with the Rings of Power and The Acolyte, you get enough people talking about it that you could tell some people watched it, right? With this, there was nothing. It was dead. And that's exactly where it's at. There's no way this will get a sequel. Now, they did set it up so that it was very clearly meant to be an episodic adventure thing. And that's where it came from originally. That's part of why it's so bad, was this was meant to be a season-long arc sort of situation. And then they just distilled it down to an hour-and-a-half movie. And so there's been a lot of redrafts, a lot of rewrites that have just gutted all of what this was. And that's why it ended up being so nonsensical and just stupid because they didn't know where they were going to go with it. Is it going to be a dark fiction like Discovery? Is it going to be campy humor? Is it going to be... Yeah, well, let's put it all in there. That's what they decided to do. And you have to kind of choose one direction or another as a writer. Otherwise, the tone just gets completely lost, and it doesn't work like this. And so this is a lot of just they're trying to talk about it like it's just like some film that's out. Watch 4 new clips. Surprise celebrity cameo. Let's get messy. Yeah, that's definitely one way to talk about it. Reactor, that used to be Tor.com. Finally, Bleeding Cool even admits this is that's not a good thing. Section 31 is Star Trek's Secret Invasion. Yeah, Secret Invasions where the MCU really killed the franchise. Absolutely crazy. The movie should have never warped onto Paramount Plus on a Star Trek fan site right here. No, there's no way this should have been greenlit. And the budget was expensive. Michelle Yeoh herself cost $12 million to get into this. Absolutely crazy. So the budget had to be $50, $100 million. They're losing lots of money over this. And so Alex Kurtzman, from what I heard, This was kind of a test for him, and there's going to be a vote in July on whether they're going to like change the franchise direction and get him out. And I really hope they do at this point, because this has been talked about before within Paramount, and it's clear he's just like destroyed Star Trek. He's obsessed Star Trek fan. I don't know why they won't just put somebody in who actually likes Star Trek. That'd be kind of nice. I mean, it was clear with Discovery that this wasn't going to work. And why would you do a Discovery spin-off TV movie? Discovery's ratings were low as it was. So what are you thinking just on that level? And he's continuing to double down with it. If you think about it, Starfleet Academy is coming out. That's another concept that really nobody wants. Nobody's really asked for a Starfleet Academy show. They pitched it for decades, by the way. Over and over, they've tried to pitch Starfleet Academy shows. And it's just a bad concept and bad idea every single time. Again, explore strange new worlds. Seek out new life and new civilization. It's not that hard. It really isn't. I wrote it. But that's what they're doing with Star Trek, and it's just like it's asinine. Moreover, they didn't even set Starfleet Academy like if they did it after in the Picard era or whatever, like where they're trying to rebuild Starfleet and they could bring in some cameos from Deep Space Nine and Voyager and stuff. It'd be pretty cool. I mean, I know they brought the Doctor back in, but it's set in the whole Discovery zone again with a bunch of the Discovery characters people don't like. What are they thinking? It's crazy. Star Trek 31 is Star Trek's answer to a popular comic book movie. Well, why would you do that with Star Trek? That doesn't make any sense there. Section 31's villain makes no sense from Screen Rant. Yeah, I've seen this a lot. I've even seen like the woke activists. There was like a transgender blogger talking about just like how Michelle Yeoh was this like dark actor like who like kind of had a redemption plot a little bit, joined Section 31, and this whole plot's weird too. Like, she quit Section 31. She went to get a bar, and they kind of force her back into it, but by asking, and it's like, and then she just comes back into it. Very weird. It's nonsensical, the whole plot, and that's kind of where it's at. So you can see it here. Rachel Garrett's challenges representing Starfleet in Section 31. This was the worst part of all of it, was taking the character Rachel Garrett, who's part of people's Yesterday's Enterprise was one of people's favorite episodes of TNG. And they turned her into this space Karen, this angry, whiny like person who's there to like tell Section 31 Starfleet wouldn't do this. Well, no, duh. That's why it's Section 31. And it like the whole setup made no sense. Like Starfleet embedded somebody in Section 31, so everybody knows about Section 31. I thought it was a secret. Very, very confusing. It didn't make any sense on any level from the continuity level. And it's crazy. I think there's an expectation of how to comport oneself as Starfleet. So definitely in the beginning of the film, especially I think representing the character a particular way was important to me. And especially the contrast towards the other characters in that situation as the movie goes on. I hope to represent some different colors and watch how her programming is challenged. Very, very weird. And again, she just came off as like angry space Karen. And it's like, why did you do this? Just total destruction of the character right there, and very, very sad to watch. But even Kotaku says it's terrible. That awful new Star Trek movie is what they call it. Can you imagine Kotaku saying something like this about? And this is like what's crazy about this is this is a woke diversity fest. Michelle Yeoh is always like the diversity casting 101, but they had the shiny black guy. They keep telling everybody. They tell everybody. There's a lot of telling instead of showing for the work here. They tell him how smart and great he is. And then there's another black guy in it who's wonderful. There's the white guy has mecha dysphoria, which is obviously a trans kind of thing. And then they did another trans kind of thing with these like Vulcan bodies where they had these weird little bug creatures inside of them controlling them. I mean, it was very, very... And of course they had crazy, random gay tertiary characters who didn't make sense in continuity also. And so with that level of pandering, you would expect Kotaku would go, wow, this is the best ever. They literally call it that awful new Star Trek movie. I mean, so that's how you know this has failed so badly, when the media can't even do anything about it. They're trying. I mean, they've got article after article about this stuff, talking about different parts of it, trying to make this a thing, and of course trying to spam. This is what they do. They spam articles out from all these different companies to try to get on Google's sort of search engine optimization here. That way, like when they have 5-10 articles, Google says, oh, they're an authority on this topic when people search Section 31. And that's part of the game as to why they do this type of stuff. But really, they don't even have it. Look, Star Trek just introduced its own version of the Hunger Games. I mean, this is how stupid this plot is. I mean, Star Trek Hunger Games doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't. And it's an embarrassment from start to end. They couldn't even cover for this game. Even the media, it sadly fails because somebody, I guess, wanted it. But it's stupid. Like, the idea never was going to work. Like, this was a dumb idea just to begin with. Nobody wanted this character to begin with, and that's it. Very, very fun to watch it fail and see nobody talking about it. See the media just flip out. And gosh, I hope Kurtzman's gone at the end of this for real. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Please check out some great alternative science fiction, guys. You're going to love this. Great books in the description below. Get it on ebook, print, and audio, and grab the entire series today. Thanks for being here.